Hey everyone, it's Jenna Moury, and for my PBA this semester, I decided to make a text set about gardening. So first of all, I chose this little girl right here because I thought she was super cute, and also, not gonna lie, I definitely wanted to use a wheelbarrow as my container, but then I started thinking about pushing it across campus and just the practicalities of trying to figure out how to get it into my dorm, stuff like that. So I did not get a wheelbarrow, but this little girl is living my dream for me. So what I did get from my container is a basket, and then I used this little sign that I had in my room. It doesn't look exactly like that, but that's the best I could find. It says fresh cut flowers, and I attached it to the side of the basket, and then I put a little green kneeling pad that I found from the dollar store in the basket. I had a small little shovel and gardening fork that my family's had since I was little, and I also have this little garden bag that has it's the little green tan bag over there, and I've had that since I was a kid, so when I decided to make it about gardening, I decided to include that. Then I included a spray bottle because I think that basically all little kids would enjoy spraying their plants and even just pretending to inside if they couldn't actually spray with real water. And then I had a couple little miniature daisy grow kits that I found from Walmart, and so I was going to use those for my off-campus presentation. I was going to have a couple families come, and we were all going to, each family, they could plant a little flower, and we'd read our books and just talk about how to take care of their flowers. And then, but sadly I didn't get to do that. I have these dried yellow roses because my household decorates our common room with a lot of roses, a lot of dried flowers, and so I asked if I could borrow some of them for the text set, and I had permission to use that. But yeah. And then finally I included a little folder to keep my graphic organizers in and my rubric and my annotated bibliography. So these are kind of the books that I chose, and I might have gone a little bit overboard, but I got super excited about gardening this whole semester, especially when it was really cold. It was just really fun to think about gardening. It's really not even warm yet here. I'm in Michigan. We had snow 3 days this week, which was ridiculous. But yeah, so I have A Secret Garden is my first actual book that I'm using. I use that because it's a novel, and I thought it would be good for older kids who might think that I wanted the text set to cross a variety of ages because I'm not really sure yet what grade I'll be teaching, and then also I was going to be presenting it to some homeschooling families, so I wanted to have something for each of their kids to look at. And then next I have this Grandpa Green book up here, which is about a little boy, and he's really into horticulture. And then it follows him as he grows up, and he has to go off to World War, and then he falls in love and gets married. And then he gets old, and he can't remember everything, but his garden remembers it for him because he was cutting the topiary trees and bushes in shapes of everything that he experienced. So I thought it was really cute. And then also I have a Grandpa Green because my mom's maiden name is Green, and so yeah, that really stuck out to me with a title like that. Then my third one is Understanding Photosynthesis with Max Axiom, I think it's pronounced like that, the super scientist. And so I really like this. It's a graphic novel, so it's kind of comic book style, and I thought it was really good for maybe some boys might think that gardening is just for girls, and that it's all flowery and just not something they're interested in, or maybe sometimes boys are reluctant readers. So I thought that this book might appeal to some of them because it's not a traditional book, and it has a superhero type figure. And then my fourth one is this little tiny growing garden toddler board book. I think it's really cute, actually. I own it, and I'll show you in a minute. It's just really fun. The kids that I nanny love it. I take it to their house every day. They always ask when I will bring the bird book. There's a couple birds in the pages, and so they call it the bird book, and they love it. And then finally, I have this history book, who was George Washington Carver, that I thought would be good to include, like a historical nonfiction book about this man who he was born a slave, and then he was freed and he was raised by his former owners, and then he was one of the first African Americans to go to college, then to teach at a college, and he was also a peanut gardener. And then the other books I included just as like recommendations because I love them too. So I copied the instructions for the story pyramid. Then I made this little story pyramid graphic organizer that's gardening themed, and I wanted to use it with the secret garden. So here's my example of how I did it for the secret garden. And then for my next graphic organizer, I did an idea web, and I thought I could use it with the Grandpa Green book. And so basically, whoops, there you go. So I was thinking kids could like discuss what types of gardens they've heard of, because the Grandpa Green book is it's about somebody who has like a bush and tree, like topiary garden. So it's not like a traditional like veggie garden or flower garden. And so I thought kids could like come think about what different types of gardens they know of, and then also I put more thoughts over here so they could just like add anything else. And then my third strategy is a KWL chart for gardening, and I wanted to use this with the Understanding Photosynthesis book. And my idea was kind of like kids, like if they were going on a field trip or somewhere that they could talk to like professionals who know a lot about photosynthesis or just like taking care of plants in general, that they could first fill out the what I already know and the what I want to know, and then after their trip they could fill out what they have learned. And I was actually thinking, I've never been to the Pittsburgh Botanical Gardens, but I'd like to go there, and that was just like an idea of some place that the kids could go on their field trip. And then I have my annotated bibliography, whoops, I'm at the bottom, Secret Garden, Grandpa Green, yada yada, and then the additional books. And now I want to show you a few of these books that I have at home. There you go. Okay, so the first one, I have The Secret Garden. I got it at a library, and this is an adapted version. I've read this before when I was a kid. I think it's really cute. It's like chapter book style. It's a good book. You should read it. Then next, here's the Grandpa Green book. It's a Caldecott Honor winner, and I really like just the illustrations in the pages. Apparently the man who wrote it illustrated some Dr. Seuss books, so pretty good illustrator. Yeah, it's a really good book. Highly recommend also. Then next is the photosynthesis book. I'll just show you how you can see that it's a comic book style. He like goes inside like the roots of a flower, and yeah, I just think it'll appeal to some like reluctant readers. Walking through the different seasons, talking about how it affects plants, you know, casual. And then finally, the Growing Garden book. Super cute. It's a very conversational book, and so it's like asking questions as you read, which is great for little kids because it keeps them engaged and keeps their attention span on the book, and just encourages their speaking, which is always good. And yeah, so I had so much fun with this whole PBA. I loved it. I really want to go plant a garden now, and I hope you liked it too. I think that's all I have to say. But yeah, I'm excited to see what all of you guys did. Yep. Have a good spring.